We can say exception is a circumstance that a program was not designed to handle. So exception is a situation that a program was not designed to handle that situation. We could write some code to deal with exceptions. We say error checking code is a code a programmer writes to detect and handle errors that happens during program execution. In this example here, we have a main function. Inside main function, we have integer weight val, integer height val, float BMI calc, and character quit CMD. We initialize quit CMD with A, character A. While quit CMD is not equal to Q, we display enter weight, we get the weight. We display enter height, we get the height. We calculate the BMI, and then we display the BMI. So in this example, if the user puts 150 and 66, the BMI is calculated. If the user puts a -1 as weight, the BMI becomes negative. If the user puts -1 as height, the BMI becomes negative. In this example, whenever the weight or height is negative, the BMI is not calculated right. We need to find a way that we could deal with this problem. So when the weight is -1, the BMI is wrong. When the height is -1, the BMI is wrong. When the weight and height are both positive, the BMI is correct. We need to find a way to prevent these from becoming negative. If you look at this example here, we can use if condition. We can say if the weight val is less than 0, see out invalid weight, else we get it. If the height val is less than 0, see out invalid. If the weight val is less equal to 0 or height val is less equal to 0, display cannot compute. Else we calculate the BMI. In this example here, we use if conditions to check. If the weight or height is negative, we display an error. Otherwise, we calculate the BMI and then we display it. One way to deal with exceptions is to use if condition. Using if condition, we can check to see if the BMI, if the input that in this example is weight and height is negative or not. If the input is negative, using if condition, we can display an error. So we do have some exception handling construction C++. The language has a special constructs, a try, a throw, and catch. We call them exception handling constructs to keep error checking codes separate and to reduce redundant checks. In C++, we have this construct, which we call a try catch. We put the code that we want to try inside the try block. If something goes wrong, then we can throw an exception. In this example, we try the code that normally runs, we put it on top. If any error is happening, if any error is detected, we're throwing an exception, which is object of exception type. We can push the catch here, which this catch is exception type, exception object. This will handle the exception. For example, we can print a message. Let's see how this try catch works. We say a try block surrounds normal code, which is exited immediately if a true statement executes. A true statement appears within a try block. If reached, execution jumps immediately to the end of the try block. A catch clause immediately follows the try block. If the catch was reached due to an exception thrown of the catch clause parameter type, the clause executes. A catch block is called a handler because it handles an exception. So in this example here, we have try, we have throw, we have catch, and then we have handler. In this example here, it's the same BMI calculator. We're writing the BMI example where error checking code using exception handling construct. We include the stdexcept. This is the library that we're going to use, which is used for exceptions. We say try. In the try block, we get the weight. We say if the weight is negative, then we throw runtime error invalid weight. If this condition becomes true, we throw this exception, which this exception is a runtime error exception. We put a string inside this parameters. So we are throwing an exception of type runtime error. We get the height. If the height is less than 0, we throw a runtime error exception using invalid height. We calculate the BMI, we display the BMI. We have a catch block here. The catch block, it has a runtime error ampersand except. It means this except is type of runtime error. We call the what function on except to display what kind of error we're dealing with. We display cannot compute health info. Then we have a cout here, and then we get the quit CMD. In this example, you can see that we try this code. If something goes wrong, which in this example, when the weight is less than 0, we throw an exception. The exception that we throw is a runtime error exception. But this exception is taking a string, which that string is invalid weight. When this exception is thrown, the code will go to the catch block. This exception is type of exception, which is a runtime error exception. This what function will display this text that we passed to that catch block. It means this what function will display invalid weight when there is any problem with the weight val, but it will display invalid height when there is any problem with the height. Depending on the weight is negative or height is negative, a runtime exception has been thrown. When we go to the catch block, that what function will get the string that we're passing here to this object of exception, and then it will display that error. If we put 150.66, we get 24.208. If you put -1, it displays invalid weight. If we put 150 and -1, it displays invalid height. This is how the try block works. The try catch works. We try a code. If something goes wrong, we throw an exception. We catch the exception here, and then we handle it. This what function will get this text that we're passing to the exception when we throw it. This exception, this runtime error, is defined inside this library. We have some common exception types like bad alloc, which is failure in allocating memory. We have iOS-based failure, which is a failure in a stream like a CN stream, and FS stream. We have logic errors used to report errors in program logic. For example, out of range error, index out of bounds. We have runtime error, which is used to report errors that can be detected at runtime, like overflow error, arithmetic overflow. So depending on what kind of error you're working with, we could throw different kinds of exceptions. This is an example of exception with functions. This example shows BMI example using exception handling constructs along with functions. So we have two different functions here. One of them get weight. One of them get height. The get weight function has int weight parameter. We get the weight parameter. We say if this weight is negative, throw runtime error invalid weight. We return the weight. And the get height function, we get the height. We say if the height parameter is less than 0, throw runtime error invalid height. We return the parameter. In the main function, we define weight val, height val, BMI calc, and quit CMD. We say if the quit CMD is equal to A, while the quit CMD is not equal to Q, we try. In the try block, we call the get weight function. This get weight function will run this code. If the weight is negative, this function will throw this exception. But when it does throw this exception, it will pass invalid weight to the exception. Then we call the get height function. We put the result in the height val. When we call the get height, we get the height. If the height parameter is less than 0, it will throw runtime error using invalid height. If the height parameter is not less than 0, it will return the height parameter. In this example, we call these functions. If there is nothing wrong, we will get the result and then we calculate the BMI. If something is wrong, it means if the weight or if the height is negative, then it will go to the catch block and then it will display the error and then the program will stop. It will say cannot compute health info. But if everything is right, then it will compute the weight and height, it will get them and it will calculate the BMI and it would display the BMI. In this example, you see how we can use functions to throw exceptions and then how we can catch the exception when that exception is thrown. We say a catch is a catch-all handler that catches any type, which is useful when listed as a last handler. So in this example, you can see how we can have multiple handlers. We say try, we throw object of exception type 1, we throw object of exception type 2, we throw object of exception type 3. We have a catch block. We can catch exception of type 1. We can catch exception of type 2. We could also handle other exceptions like type 3. In this example, we can see that a catch, open parenthesis, dot, 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 close parenthesis, is used to catch any other exception that we're not dealing with. In this example, these two exceptions, exception type 1 and exception type 2, are being handled by these two catches. But anything other than these two, which in this example is the object of exception type 3, is handled in the last exception. I want you guys to complete these challenge activities. I want to go over example 11.4, which is generate number format exception. In this example here, we're catching exception reading integer from a string stream. So it says running the program, the below program with the given input causes an error when extracting an integer from a string stream. The program reads from CN the following rows, also called records, that contain a last name, first name, department, and annual salary. The program uses the string stream to convert the last entry for integer for the salary to an integer. So in this example here, we have this data, which we're processing. We have 3 strings and 1 number, but the second string, it has 4 strings. So if we want to process this, you can see that we can create a vector of field, vector of strings, name field. We have 2 strings here. We have 2 integers here. We initialize rows and salaries to 0, total salaries to 0. We get a line using CNS statement. We say while row size is greater than 0, plus in rows, while we find comma, and that is not equal to string in position, we use the substring from 0 to find comma. It means this code here is breaking down each string into different parts. We're using the substring to the first comma. We put it in partial. We push back that partial into the field. And then we use the substring comma +1 to get the row. We push back the row inside the field. It means we're breaking the string. We're taking a part of the string, which is the first one. We're putting inside this partial. We're adding that to the field. And then we're using the substring from after that to get the other part of the string. We push back inside the field. The question is asking you to add a try-catch clause to catch an iOS-based failure exception. If I run this code, if I run it, I will get an error. It says exited with return code -6. So terminated, call it after throwing an instance of std : iOS failure. We're getting an error, which is input-output failure. It says what basic iOS clear, iStream error. So in order to fix this code, we need to add some code here. In this program here, we get a line using the CNS statement. After we get the line, we say while the size is greater than the 0, we add to the number of rows. While we find comma, then that is not in pose, we use the substring and we find the first part of the string, we put it in partial. We push back partial inside the field, and then we use the substring to go from comma +1, and we get the row. So we push back the row inside the field. In the try block, we reset the contents of the string stream. This try block will execute. We clear the string stream as state. We put the field index inside the SS. We say SS and we put SS inside the salary. SS, double right arrow, we put it in the salary. We add the salary to the total salaries. So if you look at the total salaries here, total salaries is an integer, which we initialize with 0. So whenever we get the salary, we add that salary to total salaries. We display the field index first name, field index last name, field index salary, and field index department. In the catch block, we say we have iOS-based failure &int. We're trying this code. If something goes wrong, we go to the catch block. In the catch block, we display the field index first name, index last name, and index salary. So then we have a get line to get another line, and then we call the clear function on the field. If we run this program, you can see that this try-catch block, when we have John Doe 5,000 operations, it takes the data and it processes. But when we have another data, which is Duet Jane marketing 60,000, it drops this error. The salary entry for Jane dot 60,000 could not be converted to an integer. This info won't be added to the salary running total. But if we put AI, Uminum 70,000 and finance, it works. If we put Elaine Jones 8,000 and sales, it works. This try catch is trying this code. If something goes wrong, we catch the error and we deal with the error here. If something doesn't go wrong, then it will execute. But if something goes wrong, we will not add that to the input. And then we stop. So in this example, we can see that we're trying this code. We are trying an exception of type iOS base. When the exception is thrown, we stop the execution and then the program stops. The program continues, but the program will get the next row, and then the next row is processed. So you can see that in this example, we're using a try-catch block. This is how the try-catch works.